Hey everyone, welcome. I'm so thrilled you're joining us for today's explainer. Look, today we are totally demystifying home heating and cooling breakdowns. We're going to peel back the curtain, figure out exactly why these complex systems fail, look at the rigorous professional standards needed to fix them, and honestly, what it actually takes to keep your home comfortable. Let's get right into it.
Picture this. It's 2 a.m., the dead of winter. The temperature outside is just plunging. And suddenly, that familiar hum of your furnace, it just stops. Your house is getting colder, literally by the minute. It is an absolute homeowner nightmare, right? Okay, let's dive into this. Because when your system dies in the middle of a July heat wave or a January freeze, pure panic usually sets in. But today, we're going to transform that panic into preparation.
Here's our roadmap for the diagnostic journey today. 1. Ohio's tough HVAC climate. 2. Diagnosing common system symptoms. 3. Anatomy of a professional fix. 4. The rules around codes and permits. And finally, number 5, knowing when to replace.
Starting off with Section 1, Ohio's tough HVAC climate and environmental stressors.
So, Reynoldsburg sits in a climate zone that absolutely punishes mechanical equipment. I mean, take our brutal summer humidity, for example. We're talking about moisture levels regularly topping 70%. This heavy, wet air forces your AC to run these super long cooling cycles, which puts massive stress on the compressors and the drain lines. And then, flip the script to winter freezers. When temps drop below 20 degrees, your furnace is pushed to the absolute limit. Plus, your home's ductwork gets exposed to violent freeze-thaw cycles that can literally tear it apart over time.
Now, what's really interesting here is how hyper-localized these threats actually are. It's not just the general weather. The very ground and nature around Columbus are actively wearing your system down. For instance, Licking County. The clay-heavy soil there expands and contracts with moisture. As it shifts, it can literally pull your ductwork apart at the seams. It's wild. It just leaks your expensive conditioned air straight into a crawl space. Or if you live near Black Lake Creek, you're constantly battling concentrated moisture. That accelerates mold growth right inside your air handler. Over by historic Main Street, a lot of outdated insulation means your unit is just working overtime. And oh, those gorgeous mature trees along Livingston Avenue? They are constantly shedding debris, just choking the airflow to outdoor units.
Moving right along to Section 2, diagnosing common system symptoms and figuring out what's failing.
Let's play HVAC doctor for a second. We're going to translate those terrifying noises and temperature drops into logical, physical components. Okay, so if your AC is running but blowing warm air, you're likely looking at a refrigerant leak or a dying compressor. If the furnace is just clicking away, click, 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 but won't fire up, almost certainly a failed igniter, maybe a bad flame sensor, or a faulty gas valve. Now, if you hear a horrific grinding, squealing, or banging sound, there's no ghost in the machine, I promise. That is worn bearings or a loose blower wheel that's about to fail entirely. And hey, if your energy bills suddenly skyrocket, but you haven't even touched the thermostat, your system is crying out for help. Usually that's aging equipment, severe duct leaks, or honestly just a clogged, dirty filter, literally forcing the system to suffocate.
Which brings us to Section 3, Anatomy of a Professional Fix, or the triage process.
You know, a real pro doesn't just slap a Band-Aid on a symptom. They cure the root cause, and they do it in 3 strict steps. Step 1, diagnosis, and quote, usually within 15 to 30 minutes, an expert finds the exact failure and gives you a firm, upfront price, no guessing. Step 2 is repair and testing, because professional trucks are basically mobile warehouses totally stocked with common OEM parts. Most of these repairs are done right then and there in just 1 to 2 hours. And step 3, this is absolutely crucial. Verification. The tech has to run your system through a full heating or cooling cycle. They do this to verify that the initial problem is totally eradicated and all safety controls are perfectly operational before they even think about cleaning up and heading out.
And listen, when we're talking about a true emergency like that 2 a.m. furnace failure we talked about, time is totally of the essence. Professional standards dictate an incredibly rapid response. We're talking dispatch times within 2 hours during normal business hours and within 3 hours even in the dead of night or on holidays. Because you have to mitigate property damage like freezing pipes and obviously keep your family safe.
Let's look at Section 4, the rules, specifically codes and permits.
First up is a massive federal regulation, EPA Section 608. Basically, this is a mandatory certification for any technician who handles refrigerants like R22 or R410A. So why does this matter to us? Well, if an uncertified handyman tries to fix your refrigerant leak, they're not just violating federal law and risking massive environmental contamination, they are almost certainly voiding your manufacturer warranty and they'll probably leave you with an improperly charged system that's just destined to fail again anyway. Next step, the manual J methodology. Ever wonder how they figure out what size air conditioner your house actually needs? Well, a true professional never ever guesses. Manual J is an exact mathematical calculation. It literally accounts for your home's square footage, the thickness of the insulation, the exact number and type of windows, heck, even the direction the sun hits your house. Guessing leads to disaster, but Manual J ensures optimal comfort and peak energy efficiency. On a local level, any major repair or installation has to comply with the Ohio Residential Code and local permitting, like in Franklin County. Yes, permits generally cost around $50 to $150, and yeah, a shady contractor might try to offer to skip this step to save you a few dollars. Do not let them do it. These inspections enforce mandatory SEER energy ratings, verify proper condensate drainage, make sure your combustion venting won't leak deadly carbon monoxide into your house, and confirm electrical connections won't spark a fire. Skipping permits might seem like a money saver today, but man, unpermitted work can lead to massive headaches like voided home insurance claims or major complications when you go to sell your house.
Finally, Section 5, knowing when to replace and understanding the system lifespan.
15 to 20. That right there is the magic number. The average lifespan of a well-maintained HVAC system in this Ohio climate is roughly 15 to 20 years. Breaking it down a bit, furnaces usually push to that 15 to 18-year mark, while air conditioners, fighting through those super humid summers, they usually tap out around 12 to 15 years. If your unit is sitting in this age bracket and it's suddenly needing frequent, really expensive repairs, honestly, replacing it is almost always the smarter financial move. And this brilliantly illustrates how the pros use specific math to size your replacement. They measure cooling power in BTUs. Just think of it like horsepower for your AC. A typical Reynoldsburg home needs roughly 20 to 25 BTUs per square foot. In the HVAC world, 12,000 BTUs equals 1 ton of cooling. So, do the math. A 1,500 square foot home needs a 3-ton unit. Jump to a 2,000 square foot home, and you're looking at a 3.5 to 4-ton unit. The stakes here are incredibly high. If someone installs an oversized unit, it's going to short cycle, just rapidly turning on and off. That wastes a ton of energy and completely fails to pull that sticky Ohio humidity out of the air. But if it's undersized, it'll just run continuously, cranking up your electric bill without ever actually cooling the house down.
Now, as you shop around for new systems, you're going to hear a lot of flashy marketing about brands. Carrier, Trane, Lennox, Rheem. So the crucial point is this. Proper installation matters way more than the brand name. Let me just repeat that. Proper installation matters more than the logo on the box. A high-end unit installed poorly is going to fail miserably, but a mid-range unit installed flawlessly by an experienced, code-compliant technician, that's going to run beautifully for decades. The contractor you pick is infinitely more important than the brand of equipment they install.
As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with this thought. Right now, at this exact moment, your HVAC system is quietly fighting the extremes of Ohio's climate. It's pushing air, it's managing humidity, it's battling those temperature drops. Based on what we just went over today, the hyperlocal stressors, those warning symptoms, and the strict lifespan of these machines, is your system truly prepared to survive the season, or is it silently ticking toward a 2 a.m. breakdown? Taking the time to really understand and maintain your system today is absolutely the ultimate key to your home's comfort tomorrow. Thank you so much for learning with me.